Yeah,
All right,
sure.
cool.
All right. So, yeah, thanks for coming on, dude.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
we might as well just jump right into it. This is my podcast, as you might know by reading the YouTube title. This is a series where I decided, like, hey, dude, I know a lot of cool people and cool artists. So, like, I don't know. I thought they all might be like it might be interesting for anyone. Might be interesting for me to just go through and record or record interviews with all of them. So yeah, come from we both come from the area around the DMV District of Columbia, Maryland, Virginia. I talked about this on the episode that I tried to record that didn't work, but in
Rip.
DMV I always say District of Maryland, Virginia by accident, but that's not true because it's DC. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, so yeah, today we got you, Michael. How who the fuck are you?
You know, after the car crash, I haven't been able to tell.
Car crash.
Nah. All right. So, I'm the lead guitarist for a band out of Alexandria, although we're based out of Spotsylvania now.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm the lead guitarist for a thrash metal band called Trivial Difference. I've been running with them since about February of 2019, I think.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
your
yeah,
first
that sounds
album
about
came out
right.
in 2019, right? That's what Spotify said.
Well, there's a little bit of there's some caveats to that, but
Okay.
for the
Okay.
most part, yeah. We'll say well we don't call the EP an album
Oh yeah, yeah.
because
Sorry.
like
I'm
it's
I'm
just
really bad with definitions like that, with like EPs,
no.
LP.
Like everybody will call an EP like everybody will call an EP an album.
Yeah.
Like most people will just refer to it, but like when it comes to like in talks with Trivial Difference, we always make the keen distinction to differentiate. And for anybody who's feeling bold enough to go listen, Toxic, our EP, you'll know why I'm saying that we make the difference. We make the distinction between the two.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Toxic. It's a great EP musically. It's better than what was original. And I'll get into that in a moment if you'll humor me.
Mhm.
But the so Toxic itself was a re-release.
Oh, really?
Before I was in the band, it was a three-piece punk band led by their friend Cameron and then Ian and Gannon, who are the drummer and bass player respectively, who are still in the band.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so they released that. They released Toxic originally, I think, either on Halloween of 2018 or around that time.
Mhm.
Fast forward to a couple months later, Cameron has left the band. We have Thomas Bruno, who is in the band as the vocalist. And then fast forward to about mid-January, and then I get, you know Lily, right?
Yeah.
I already
yeah,
know the answer
yeah,
to that,
of
but
course.
yeah. So she's actually the reason why I'm in Trivial,
Oh,
and I'll get
word.
to that once I finish this story, so I'm not flip-flopping all over the place.
Shout out to
Basically,
Lily.
yeah, shout out to Lily. Hella shout out to Lily. I love her. Thanks, Lily. You're the reason why I'm in the best band I've been in ever in my life. Thank you so much.
Shout outs to Courage
Anyway,
Brothers. Shout outs to Pink Flag.
Pink Flag.
And,
Yeah, Pink Flag.
She's in so many. I forget.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know
Yeah.
if she's still in Vanya and the Egomaniacs, but if that's
I'm
not
pretty
going on,
sure-
shout outs to Vanya.
Yeah, I don't even have time to go look up how many bands she's in.
Dude, Lily's insane. She
Yeah.
is just musically talented. She's got so much going on. How she can balance all of that is insane to me.
It is fucking insane, dude.
But yeah, so we went ahead. Fast forward from October when we released the original EP to about I think June of the following year. So
Mhm.
when I joined the band about a month in, I was like, hey, we should re-record that because it sounds like shit. I don't know if I was the one who said it, but I know that those words came out of my mouth. And
That'd be pretty bold as like the new member to just walk
oh
in.
no,
like
we
that.
we all kind of had the, like, if I remember correctly, we all basically had the same idea because
Yeah.
it's not even like in the sound of its recording. It's literally just like I'm not here to knock any individuals. I'm not here to knock anybody musically because that's not my style. I
Yeah.
really dislike it when people knock people musically. But for me personally, it's hard for me to listen to the original EP. That's as far as I'll say. It's very hard for me to listen to it.
Yeah, dude. Was this
This is on SoundCloud. I don't ever tell anybody about it.
Okay. just weird thing. Was there? I just want to know if I'm remembering this right. Was there a small period where I was in talks to like be your drummer for this band, or was that something else?
Not for this band. Not for this band. That was for Archdemon.
Oh, that sounds more familiar. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was Archdemon.
Okay.
So we'll get into that later too.
I guess. Yeah, I guess if we must.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much really to go into. It's that at the time we let me finish the story and then I'll get onto Archdemon real quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, we recorded all the stuff for the re-release of Toxic. The quickest way to differentiate the two is that the original EP has a white cover, whereas the new EP is inverted, so it's black on white or it's white on black as opposed to black on white.
The classic.
Yeah, of course. So that EP, the re-recording of the EP, was actually a very interesting time for me because we didn't rewrite anything per se, but say like. So from When You're With Me, there's a part at the very end where originally the guitar just kind of did this right, and that was the rhythm, right? We quote unquote rewrote that. We changed that to like just straight chords.
Yeah.
And then added a solo over that.
Yeah, I did really like when I was listening through, because I was just listening through while I was doing like yard work and lawn mowing today. To both Toxic, the one that's on Spotify, and Hell Is Home, the single on Spotify. And
right.
I When You're With Me, like, legitimately got stuck in my head. Like, I was just kind of like humming the tunes of it as I was going around. Like, I do genuinely, like, I understand what you mean when like, because all artists want to like bash on their earlier stuff. As soon as they make something
we are our own worst critics.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, and I get what you were saying. Like, I don't want to be mean. Like, but yeah, I did hear like
be as brutally honest as you fucking want, man. Please. Any criticism is good criticism.
Yeah, dude. Like, no, I'm not. I usually don't like harshly critique things. I'm in terms of talking about like art and media, I'm a very like positive outlook person. I genuinely like I first off, like the one negative thing, like I could totally hear like the kind of like amateurish like vibe of like just a first LP like album, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
honestly, it kind of gives it like a sort of charm, you know? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of neat in that way. Like obviously like mixing was a little like probably need a little more, and
so there's actually
everything.
There's actually a story behind the mixing. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I'm not the one who. I'm not in charge of mixing in any way.
Yeah, I don't want to cause any. I don't want to cause any drama.
I mean, we all agree that mixing wise, it could have like it could have been done better, but it sounds better than what it was, which is really all we were really going for, was to make it better than what was on SoundCloud, which we did.
Yeah.
It's still hard for us as the band members to even listen to it.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny because we have our own favorite songs that we love to play, but then we also rarely play them. Like the one song that we almost always consistently play is Haunted Memories off of that record, and that's it. We all hate Just Another Feeling. I don't know why, because I love every time we play that live, there's so much energy to it. It's so fun.
Yeah, like
I never play it live.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a really I don't know if this is like an annoying comparison to make, or like if I'm like or anything, but it gave me a lot of like a little bit of a vibe of the first Metallica album, which is like one of my favorite albums. It's like just kind of that just like raw sound, you know what
I want to just say this: if you think that the EP reminds you of Kill 'Em All, just wait until we release the record.
Oh yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, the record itself is I'm not gonna say that it's like Kill 'Em All, but it has got this energy to it that is just it blows Toxic, and it probably blows Hell Is Water. Hell is Water. It blows Hell Is Home clear out of the water, or pretty damn close.
Dude,
in my
sick.
opinion.
I got a freaking Kill 'Em All poster like sitting across from me on my wall, and I have like I'm looking at the CD on my shelf. Like, dude, that is definitely like, because I'm not too into like a million metal bands like some like actual metal musicians would be. I consider myself a metal fan, but like,
right.
I'm not the kind of guy who like listens to like who goes and finds like just random like very underground. I only listen to undergrounds. You know, I don't really know much about stuff like that. I find what I find. You know.
Yeah, you find what you find. You like what you like.
Yeah.
See, that's actually something a very interesting part of metal that I've really actually very much enjoy is finding new bands. Like, I'm gonna sound like a fucking noob for saying this, but a lot of the time, besides getting like verbal recommendations from band members or other people other people who I talk to, I have Apple Music, and I just got a thrash playlist that throws new shit up every Saturday or Sunday or something.
Yeah.
And I found this one band called Chemicide, and I was listening to The Act of Retaliation, and I heard that, and it just threw me head first into a pit of lava. It was so good.
God, dude, that sounds so great. Yeah, I love like. Yeah, I do listen to like a lot of like, you know, like actual like traditional band. But a big like weird tick about me with music is that I very commonly listen to like soundtracks and stuff, like almost more than like normal music, I guess is the term. So like
I completely get that. I'm the same way.
Yeah, my metal playlist is just like if it were up to me, it would be like well, it is up to me.
I should pull up my playlist right now and tell you what game music I have on there.
Yeah, my metal music, my metal playlist is just like mostly like Mick Gordon and like the Doom soundtrack, the Wolfenstein soundtrack. You know what I mean?
You want to hear something fun about Mick Gordon?
Yeah, of course.
So I do not know this for a fact. I haven't figured out if this is actually true. But apparently, you know how Doom Eternal got delayed?
Yeah.
Apparently it was because Mick Gordon was running short on the deadline.
No, yeah, actually, there's a huge story about that. I don't recall the details enough to like tell it right now. There's like a weird like huge situation with that, and I think it's why he didn't do the soundtrack for the DLC. But
he didn't?
No, it was Andrew Hulshult and
Andrew fucking Hulshult kicks ass. Yeah. I love
Dude,
his shit
he did
on Dusk.
His stuff. His
he did
stuff
Dusk in a Medieval.
Yeah. Dusk, fantastic soundtrack. His
Keepers
Doom,
of the Gate, Burn in Hell.
His Doom 1 and 2 like covers that he posts on, I think they're just on YouTube, are like really good. And his soundtrack that he made for, I think he also worked on the second DLC, but specifically the stuff he made for the first DLC kicks ass, bro. It's insane.
Dude, I just like a couple weeks ago finished playing through Doom Eternal. I've been meaning to get my hands on the DLC because I've just loved that game so much. I really want more of it.
I highly recommend it. The DLC will kick your ass, but it's good as hell. It's really fun.
Dude, you want to hear something? Speaking about DLC kicking ass, or not DLC, but just things kicking ass. You played Breath of the Wild, right?
Yeah, of course.
Dude, I remember, this is a little off topic, but I remember when I first got my hands on that game, I remember going to the Great Plateau and getting my ass kicked by this one group of bokoblins in that skull cave that's like at the bottom of the ravine. Yeah. I just kept on going at them, just trying to get my ass kicked, and I kept on dying, getting game overs, and I was over here like, man, I haven't had this much fun getting my ass handed to me 25 times consecutively in a minute.
I had two similar experiences with that game where like, because when I first got it, I was hanging out with my friend. Like we were both at the store when I bought it, and we just went back to his house and we were like trading off every death or so. We just spent like at least half an hour just going after this one like a decayed guardian like in the ground, just trying to figure out how to beat it without getting exploded. You know?
Are you talking about the one that's right in front of the? I think it's the bomb shrine.
Yeah, it's right next to the Nintendo Switch shirt.
Yep, that's the bomb shrine, I think.
And then there was another one where like I think one of the first like challenge like combat shrine that I found was I think a major test of strength. The first one I found. So I had like nothing. I spent like maybe 2 hours on that, and that was how I learned to do the combat of the game, and I loved like every second of this.
Dude, I'll go back to Breath of the Wild and I'll still have just as much fun as I did when the first time I picked it up. It is such a fantastic game.
Dude, absolutely. I have I do that like same shit every time, and when I need to learn the Jedi Fallen Order. There's like a frog boss like right at the beginning. His name is Ogdo Bogdo. I think I literally spent 3 actual hours just fighting him.
Oh my god.
And I enjoyed it. I had fun. I liked doing it.
Dude, hey, at the end of the day, if you're having fun, that's all that matters in a video game.
True. But yeah, where were we on terms of toxic?
Oh, we were talking about video game music, and then we ended up going to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
No, video game music is honestly like criminally slept on, in my opinion. Like
facts. I am the biggest advocate of this shit, dude. No one.
I'm the kind of guy who will play Live and Learn, Open Your Heart, Night of the Wind, All Hail Shadow,
facts.
Right?
Dude,
fucking City Escape,
Crush
Metal
40
Harbor,
and
Crush 40 crushes ass.
Crush
okay?
40 goes harder than like most metal bands that I know. They're
Dude,
so
Crush
insane.
40 is like consistently like just feel good music for me because I grew up on Crush 40. Like,
yeah.
In all honesty, like my favorite game as a child was Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube, right? So hearing like just Crush 40, right? It really just kind of set in the kind of music I liked as a kid. It made going to metal super easy.
It just kicked into my brain that the only games with Sonic, the only Sonic games that had Crush 40 in it that I played growing up was Sonic and the Black Knight.
I have Sonic in the Black Knight. I have a copy of it. I have not even put it in my Wii one at all yet. I've had it for like 2 years.
I can't in good conscience recommend it, but I have a huge soft spot for that game. I love that game.
See, I have never seen gameplay of it. Well, I've seen bits of like how it looks and generally how it plays, but I have no idea other than like you run. That is it. I have nothing. I have nothing else to say.
Have you heard Night of the Wind, the main theme?
Of course I have.
Yeah, dude, the opening guitar for that is legendary. That's insane. Yeah, bro. So like the three Sonic games that I grew up with were Colors, Unleashed, and Black Knight, and only one of those had Crush 40 in it, I think. So other than Smash Brawl, that was the only Crush 40 that I like knew, you know.
I remember. Here's a fun story. My love for Sonic. Funny enough, my love for Sonic came from my uncle. He gave me Sonic. He gave me Sonic Mega Collection or Gems Collection.
Yeah.
And that was like my first real experience with Sonic. I really liked it. Ended up getting into the series, and my neighbor on the corner of my street, I swear I had this copy, right? I swear I gave him my copy of Sonic Adventure 2, but now that I look back on it, I'm almost certain I effectively pressured him into like letting me steal it.
That's really good. Yeah,
right? Like he was like, I was in like first grade. He was like 8th grade, so like. Yeah. I'm almost certain I just pressured this one kid to like let me steal his fucking copy of Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, dude, GameCube games are like really. I think they're like really hard to get now because like I think specifically GameCube, people are like price hiking it all over the place on eBay.
Like, you want to hear something really funny? Since we're talking about price hiking on eBay with GameCube games, I remember I've had this copy of Sonic Adventure since I was a kid. It just started to crap out on me. Like, I'll open up the story and then. Sigma Alpha 2 heading due south over the city, and then all of a sudden, this cannot be read. Please try again. And it always only whenever dialogue is played. I don't know what happened with my copy, but it works fine until someone talks. I don't know why. Right? So I went ahead and was like, all right, I'd like to really play this game, like for the story, and be able to actually experience it again without having to constantly open and close my GameCube. So I ended up buying a copy for $50-something,
Jesus.
Right? With just the disc, not even the full
not
shit.
The case? Dude.
Not even, just the fucking disc.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
$50 for the fucking disc, but it was basically brand new, so I already had this shit, so I was like, fuck it.
Dude, like, I'm huge into Game Collector. We could talk about this forever. Like,
I just found like all of my old DS cases, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
all right, time to put them back where they belong in their cases.
Yeah,
'Cause now I actually want to put them somewhere consistent.
I like barely even care about Soul Calibur, but I have a at Second and Charles, the local bookstore.
Yeah.
I found a case for, I think, Soul Calibur 5, the one that has Ezio in it from Assassin's Creed.
I have no idea. I have never played. Well, I've played Soul Calibur 7, but I've only ever actually played Soul Calibur 2 on GameCube.
But I found number 5 for the 360 at the store, and I go there and they're like, yeah, we don't actually have any discs for this game, but we have a copy of Soul Calibur 4 with no case. Do you want that? And I'll give you a discount. And I was like, sure. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on eBay. I'm gonna buy a case only for this disc that I have. And
buying cases is unreasonably expensive.
Yeah, sometimes. But like, so I found like just a really cheap like selling of the whole game because I couldn't find just the case. And I specifically noted in the delivery instructions, I only want the disc, or I only want the case. Please do not give me the disc. And they sent me the game with the disc. So,
But not the case.
No, they sent me the case and disc. So now I just have I have a case of Soul Calibur 4 with 2 discs in it at all times.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, I have Spyro Enter the Dragonfly on GameCube. I remember getting that game, and I remember opening the fucking the mint seal, and I accidentally ran my finger through the front plastic cover and ended up gutting the whole fucking case.
Oh my fuck! Oh god!
I was 11 at the time, so I didn't think much of it. I said fuck it and threw out the case. I wish I had. No, I didn't throw out the case. That case now holds my action replay for my GameCube.
I am physically convulsing.
I have Star Fox Adventures that just lays in the same case, loose, mind you, as fucking Star Fox Assault.
God.
And I cringe every time I pick up that case.
That hurts. That hurts physically.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Oh.
Alright, we're talking about music, right?
We were initially. So yeah.
But yeah, no, Crush 40 is like the whole reason why I like kind of got oriented on rock music.
Oh, nice.
I was just
nice.
like, right.
Yeah.
I remember I remember going to the All American Steakhouse like down the road. You know the one I'm talking about, right? Next
Probably.
To Safeway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember going there one time for a kindergarten event, and I ended up looking in the ATM. There was $40 just laying there. I took that. We went to the GameStop the next day. I bought Rayman Arena and Sonic Adventure 1, and I was the happiest boy. I was the happiest little boy.
The happiest little boy.
6.
Stealing money. Let's go.
Dude, there was just $40 laying
no,
in
I don't
the
blame
ATM.
you.
No one was around.
I would do the same shit. I would do it. Yeah.
Dude, it was funny as hell. I was just like, okay, don't mind me. My mom was like, where'd you get that money? I was like, ATM. She was like, okay.
That's funny. So,
yeah,
not to just sudden topic shift, because I don't want to stick too hard to it. But we were talking about what was it, Toxic specifically?
Yeah, we were talking about Toxic. Yeah, basically Toxic. A large part of what Evan and I think is a large part as to why it sounds the way it sounds is because, at least for me, so when you record guitar, generally you want to use different tones for different parts. Like if you're gonna double track rhythm, you want the same tone for both of those tracks. But if say like I use my Marshall to record rhythms, right? If I'm gonna also record leads on the Marshall, I have to change the tone to a different tone so it'll cut through differently, right? On Toxic, I use the same tone for both rhythm and lead. And also, Evan and I did not have any mids on our amps, which is why it sounds so hollow and really tingy.
Yeah, I kind of like the sound, but I do know what you mean. Like it like, yeah, I don't know how else to say it. Like I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But yeah. Anyway, jumping from Toxic, we got Hell is Home.
Yeah, and that was
Hell is Home
last year.
Hell is Home was done, I think. You know, I honestly don't remember when we released it. I think it was over the pandemic. It was during lockdown. It was before. I want to say it was June 9th.
It says 2020 on the Spotify page.
Yeah, I could check. I'm pretty sure it was on the 9th that it got released on June 9th.
June 9th.
But I can check that really quick. I just gotta go to the page. It might have been July 9th. July 12th.
July 12th. All right.
Yeah, it was released on July 12th, and the mixing is leagues better, and it is also much closer to the material that we've been writing lately. And as I was saying earlier, referring back to Kill 'Em All, the record we have in the works right now, I'm not gonna compare it to Kill 'Em All because it really isn't like Kill 'Em All in the sense that it doesn't sound like Kill 'Em All, and I don't know how to explain how it doesn't, but just take my word for it. It does have a lot of thrash elements. It has a lot of heavy inspiration from stuff like Slipknot, Metallica, obviously, and then everybody else kind of has their own influences that kind of gets peppered in. Yeah, writing for Trivial is a very interesting time. I actually very much prefer it. Oh wait, I said we after Toxic we'd talk about Archdemon, didn't I?
Oh wait, did we? Yeah, I knew we were planning to talk about that.
Yeah, basically, after you remember, so in senior year, I did the talent show around. Oh no, it wasn't then. It was a year or so before. I did I went to my first open mic at Girani's.
Okay.
And one of my sister's friends, saw it and sent that to her then at the time boyfriend, who is Dylan, who is my best friend. Love him to death. Yeah, he saw that and was like, could you ask him if he wants to be in a band? I wasn't in a band at the time. I had already been. I had tried. So my first band, I was in a pop punk band. It was a 5-piece pop punk band that lasted about a year and a half, and we only ever played covers. We didn't really do very much, and it was a very good experience. It just didn't really go very much anywhere. Yeah. After that, our bassist quit that band. We got another bassist who's also in the local area. I won't name him because I don't know if he would like to be named or not. So I'm just gonna err on the side of caution. But he invited me to join his band at the time, Paper Bullets.
Okay.
And then a while after that, I auditioned. I sent them a couple of videos of me playing guitar, and basically, I got let go from that band for personality reasons, which is it's probably a little bit misleading to phrase it like that. It's more of just it's more of the place we practiced. The individual who lived at the house wasn't a fan of the fact that I smoked at the time.
Okay.
So it was just kind of that. So
sure.
There was no bad blood. It was just kind of like
things
I was
happen.
upset. I was upset at the time, and I made very irrational judgments based on that. But
sure,
now I can look back on it as it is what it is. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad that happened because the band really didn't seem like it was for me. And also a big part of it was just my style was. I remember he said that everybody just kind of thought that I was my style was a little too metal for a punk band or something like that.
That makes sense.
That was about a direct quote, which was the reason. But that was that. After that, I tried forming a band in less than 5 days. Called it Quick Start. I had the full lineup. Didn't work at all. Right? It fucking dissolved in a week.
God.
Yeah. Right? Archdemon rolls around. A year in, and then I talked to you because I know you're a drummer. So then I asked you if you wanted to be in. And then again, just nothing happened. And then I joined Trivial, and then eventually I was like, okay, Trivial's actually doing stuff. Archdemon isn't really doing much.
Yeah.
And I had it was a very very fun, not really fun time trying to explain to Dylan, because it's him and I have been in the band for a year and a half now, and it feels like I'm just leaving, right?
Yeah.
But he understood, and he completely understood, and he was really kind about it. He was very understanding, and he's still one of my best friends to this day.
Yeah. Dude.
He's a great person in my opinion.
I apologize for my weird portion of that Archdemon
dude, it was fun.
That was right around where I was just it was in between hey, I haven't done any I want to be a musician. I haven't done anything musically. And it was right between that and me being I give up. I'm done with music. I don't care anymore. I'm doing other stuff that I find more fun, actually. So
right.
It was just it was right in between those two parts, and I just I didn't feel like I could keep up with whatever, and I stopped caring.
Yeah. What's it called? So after that, so let's actually, since we're talking about Archdemon and then me joining Trivial, let's actually let's bring Lily into the picture.
Woo.
What ended up happening was around early January, mid-January of 2019.
Mhm.
At that point, Lily already knew that I was a guitarist, and I'd already sent her a handful of clips of me playing things because I was looking for validation.
Okay.
I think I sent her a clip of me trying to play the solo for "Hail to the King" by Avenged Sevenfold
Mhm.
when I literally had just figured out the fingering for like most of it. So that was like, I think that was the only thing I had ever sent her that like was like, this is my kind of style, right?
Mhm.
Fast forward to January, she's like, hey, a friend of mine is looking for a guitarist, a lead guitarist, and I know that you play. Would you be interested? I was like, I'm already in a band. I don't know if I'd be able to do both. And she was like, well, why don't you try? And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mrs. 5 bands at once. Yeah, sure. I'll pick that up.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But then, after that, I gave her my number to send to Ian. Ian texts me, is like, this is Ian from Trivial Difference. I go ahead and look up Trivial Difference on Insta. And the first thing I heard from them, and I will never forget the feeling that went through my head. The first thing I heard was the opening riff to When You're With Me, the da-da-da-da-da-da, right?
Yeah.
I heard that riff, and I was like, I want to be a fucking part of this band, right? So as soon as I heard that, it's
That's
like,
fun.
my attention has been got.
Yeah.
Right? We go ahead and talk. Ian, I don't know if it was the day he texted me first or like the day after, but in the not too near future, basically what ended up happening was that Ian sent me a list of songs for the audition. I think it was Hardwired and Nothing Else Matters. No, it was Hardwired and something else. It was Hardwired, Whiplash, and maybe Seize the Day by Avenged Sevenfold. Eventually, we dropped Seize the Day.
And
we dropped
the first two by
Hardwired.
Metallica, right?
Yeah, the first two are
Yeah.
by Metallica. We
Yeah.
dropped Hardwired for some reason. I still don't know the reason why, but it's whatever. Eventually, he's like, hey, you're going to play Seize the Day by Avenged Sevenfold. I was like, okay. And then sent them a video of me playing it a couple hours later. And it's actually the same video that I have posted on my Insta, if you've seen it.
I don't remember.
It's deep in my fucking Insta.
Okay, that would be
it's
why.
like at least a year and a half old. But it's somewhere there. Yeah, that's the video I sent them, and apparently, according to Ian, when I sent that, he showed that to either his dad or Gannon, and Gannon was like, apparently, I'm just gonna go with, he showed it to Gannon. Apparently Gannon just fucking stopped what he was doing, screamed for his dad, was like, Dad! Look at what he's doing!
God, that's so good. That's a good feeling, dude. Wait, so
I think basically like somebody heard what I had sent, and then somebody was impressed. Is all I heard. Something like that.
So wait. And, his name is Gannon?
Yes, Gannon with two N's. The original misspelling.
like
like
the dwarf.
Yes, he gets made fun of it for.
Okay, that's
not often.
That's
not
cool.
Often,
I'm not making fun of him because that's cool as hell. I wish that was my name. Jesus, dude, that's cool as shit.
Dude, when I met him, he was. I think the first thing he said was, one of the first things he said was, "I'm surprised you haven't made a Ganondorf joke yet."
Okay.
Like the first thing he told me, I was like, "Oh my god."
I don't want to be that guy, but like that is a cool as shit name. Ganondorf is like one of my favorite characters ever. So like that is just a cool fucking name to have.
Dude, I used to gravitate heavily towards Ganon as my favorite member. Now it's Evan, because Evan's just basically the band dad, and I love him. But Ganon, at Youth Fest 2017, I think, my sister was there with, I think, Lily, and Trivial Difference was playing at the time with the original lineup. And basically, I don't know what happened, but apparently Ganon was hitting on Amanda. Right? So fast forward to when I'm in the band, right? I am aware of this, and I'm like, I'm gonna hang out with Gannon, right? Amanda doesn't care. She was like, she knew what was going on. She was just like, it's fine, it's whatever. Like, she didn't really think much of it. She thought it was funny. Her reasoning as to why she was like, even if I were straight, I would never be able to do it. It was because apparently Gannon looks like my cousin and I put into one body.
Yeah.
It's really fucking funny the way she explained that. But yeah, no. So eventually I texted Amanda on the Trivial Difference account, right? And then he comes home from work, and we're at the old space, and he's like, all right, who's been texting Amanda on the band account? And I raise my hand, I'm like, it's me. It's like, why? I was like, well, that's my sister. And then he realizes who Amanda is now.
Oh, okay.
Fucking, dude, he just stops when he drops his fucking bags full of, like, Dr. Pepper or some shit, right? And just fucking grabs his head, his temples, and starts fucking screaming, oh no, right? He's like, I hit on your sister.
God, dude.
It was fucking funny. Dude, he ended up fucking running around the backyard for like a solid 2 minutes, I think. I might be mistaking a different time, but like I remember he did at some point at the old space. He ran outside multiple times actually around the fucking backyard.
God.
Like a fucking idiot. I love Ganon.
Yeah.
I love Trivial. If you guys haven't checked out Trivial Difference, you guys should definitely check them out.
Yeah. Link in the
You
description.
might find some pretty cool people.
Yeah. So let's move on a little bit. Like so like with probably I'm not gonna restrict this to Trivial Difference, but just with probably focusing on them.
Right.
What are just some of your favorite like, or what are some like not necessarily favorite but like notable shows you played obviously before 2020?
Right. So I've got a story about my first show. So my first show was at the Pinch in DC. Unfortunately, that venue has now since been defunct. Back in, I think, November of 2019, it had shut down because they were running into financial problems.
Oof.
We actually had a show scheduled when it got shut down, so we ended up having to reschedule that show to Atlas Brewworks. We were going to play with Carnivore. But anyway, that's like 5 shows later down the line or some crazy number. So the first time we went to the Pinch, it was March 1st of 2019, right? I had been in the band for a couple days shy of a month, right? I had a 45-minute set to learn. I think it was 45 minutes, all mostly originals with like 4 covers. And me being the lead guitarist was like, all right, I also have to write solos for these songs.
Oof.
I'm gonna be real with you, only one solo actually was written at the time of the show, and that was for a song called Fortune.
Wait, meaning that did you not play, or did you guess?
I learned the rhythm, and I learned how to play all the music, but when it came time to actually solo, I completely improv'd everything.
That's
it was a fucking nightmare.
I can't the word is escaping me, but that's not gratifiable. That's notable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Yeah. No, not like that.
Dude, no, it was a fucking mess. Like there was a part where, because I had not been too familiar with their music at the time. Remember, I'd only been in the band for a handful of weeks at the time, and we had only really practiced. I think at that point I had been in the house to practice maybe 6 times.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah. So I had 6 sessions to learn my shit, right? So yeah, that was that. Then because I wasn't really familiar with their music, there was a part during the set we were playing a song called Closer, which by the way, on the record has a fucking serene guitar solo. I don't even want to call it a guitar solo because it's not even a solo. It's more of like an accompaniment. It's just perfect. Right? But Closer is in the key of D, right? At least for this example, it's in D, right?
Okay.
I decided that it would be a great idea to say, you know what, it would be great if I forgot what key the song was in and started playing in the key of E, so everything just sounded like a fucking train wreck, and I kept on trying to figure out why does it sound wrong, and wasn't until like literally the last 3 notes I was like, oh shit, I'm in E.
This is why I like drums. You do not have to worry about that with a drum. But
yeah, that was a pretty notable show experience, in that I had to learn completely everything and then some in less than a month, and it was a train wreck, but it was growing pains.
Yeah, that also like is what fucked me up when I tried to move from drums to learning guitar and stuff, is that like I could not wrap my brain around keys and everything like well enough in order to like get to where I was like, yeah, I'm okay at guitar, you know? Because I was just like, yeah, rhythm. That's it. That's all I need ever.
You know, the one thing that actually really helped me with guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and I doubt I'm the only one. I would be actually very surprised if I'm the only one who thinks this way, because music is fucking subjective. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, the one trick that I learned, so when I first started playing guitar, I learned by trying to play Guns N' Roses, trying to learn Sweet Child of Mine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so there's that. And eventually, as I got more familiar with that song, I started realizing that there was actually, you know, the right?
Yeah.
That part of the song, I actually started realizing that was a pattern as opposed to a three-note sequence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I stopped looking at it as like notes in a sequence and more as a pattern.
Okay.
Right? So if you're starting from the first fret, you go one, first fret, third fret, fourth fret. If you go up, third fret, fourth fret, sixth fret, fifth fret, or fourth fret, sixth fret, eighth fret, and then just keep on doing that kind of pattern, and that's a major scale going up.
Uh-huh.
And then you just change from the major to the minor scale by flatting the third,
I'm not.
which sounds crazy. It's I don't know how else to say it.
I'm not.
It's,
Yeah, I'm not
easier
gonna
than it
lie.
sounds.
I'm a little lost, but yeah.
It's basically changing one note, but
Okay,
as soon
okay.
as I realized that is how everything was built, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah, that makes sense.
the world is open, right? And then everything just took off.
Those little just like everything clicks moments are so
Yeah,
good in the learning
it was
process.
quite literally the holy shit, I fucking cracked the code
Yeah.
moment.
That's a good feeling.
I have uncovered the Fibonacci sequence.
Mm, mm. So then, like what are any, like, do you have any specifically like notable like stories or stuff from shows with Trivial Difference?
Okay, besides, I've got the first pinch show that I just brought up. I forgot to mention at the very end of the show we were Creeping Death, and I wanted to jump off of a table,
Mm-hmm.
right?
This I
like an idiot.
Uh-huh.
I jumped off of the fucking table, but I didn't realize that there was a fucking monitor hanging from the ceiling above me.
No!
So when I jumped off the table, I banged my head against the fucking ceiling hanged monitor,
Jesus.
and I almost ate shit.
Almost.
Almost. I didn't eat shit, and I played it off, but holy shit.
Bro.
I forget if anybody saw me. I know Ian saw me.
Bro,
He was
you're
behind me.
insane.
Dude,
That's
they
crazy.
fucking I think Ian fucked up like the next measure because he was trying not to laugh. But like somebody saw it, and somebody I swear someone told me that they like almost fucked up, or they fucked up for a moment because they were like they just saw what I had done and then they laughed. But it was fucking stupid. That was the if you don't learn it now you never will moment.
Okay.
That was my moment to learn not to jump off of tables before I look above me.
Yeah, that's a good rule to learn. I would assume.
But yeah, besides that show, we have the first show of our tour, which was 2 shows. Well, I call it a tour because it makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was supposed to be about 2 weeks of playing shows, but I don't know what happened. But basically, every place we had reached out to, either they weren't scheduling, or they had already had people filled when we wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
So it just wouldn't have worked. We ended up playing at the Pinch in DC, and at the Riff House down in Chesapeake.
Okay.
Now the Pinch on July 1st of 2019. That was an hour and a half long set. We had a local band called Stone Cold. Shout out to Stone Cold. They're an all-female rock band that is just absolutely. I have yet to see an energy come out of them, and they are about I think their youngest is like 4 years younger than me.
Jesus.
Like they are not like half. I think half of them aren't even adults.
Young
And
people.
they're fucking fantastic.
People who are young and just fantastic make me like, just.
Dude, it gives me hope for the fucking music industry.
Yeah, it gives me hope. It sounds selfish to say it makes me mad. Like I'm not mad at them. I'm like, yeah, go. It just makes me mad at myself because I'm like, damn, why didn't I care enough to be that good? You know.
Whenever something like that creeps, and it just drives me to practice more.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like whenever I see whenever I see like this fucking like 8-year-old on playing some, Buried Alive by Avenged Sevenfold, and they're nailing the solo, I'm just over here like I'm over here like yes, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's cool, but I'm also here like, man, I wish I could do that.
I'm just
And,
lazy.
like, fuck it, time to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. That show was so energetic. We had Stone Cold, shout out to Stone Cold, and Haunt We Go, which I think now is a solo band.
Mhm.
If they're still around, you should definitely check them out. If they're not still around, you should still definitely check out their music. A Haunt We Go. They're an alternative band from Fairfax, Virginia, I believe.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I got that wrong. But they are they have this one song I cannot remember for the life of me, but it had this one chilling melody as like the main focus of the riffs, and it was so good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now you fast forward to our part of the set, and the fucking house was packed shoulder to shoulder, and we got on stage, and at some point we started playing Bleach, right? And the chorus goes, "You taste like bleach from under my seat," right?
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody in the front row was singing it back to us.
Yo!
I'm just over here. Dude, it was the coolest shit. It was the coolest shit.
God,
that is like, whenever I think of a good show, that show is the first to come to my mind.
That
because it is such energy.
That is like the thing that you like, one of the main things that you want going in, right? Like,
dude, the crowd was moving, people were headbanging, there was a mosh pit, people were singing back our songs, right? It was so cool.
God, that's so good. That's so good, dude. That's such a good feeling. So, how do you think, weird and stupid question, not weird and stupid, but just like overused question that everyone is tired of. How do you think the pandemic has impacted both the band and your musical endeavors?
So in the way of, so I'm gonna break that down point by point. So the pandemic, as it relates to the band itself, not much has changed in terms of that. We still get together, we still would practice, and we really, even during the height of the pandemic, like we all, except me, because of I had other shit going on that I will get into. Basically, during the pandemic, we had just rented out a new place to HQ out of, and as soon as we had rented it, literally the week later, the lockdown like actually started, and once it started,
that sucks.
I was at home from mid-March, I think March 14th, until about June, like the weekend before June 10th.
Yeah, because y'all
like, literally that whole time.
You guys like just pay for it, and then it's like, no, you can't.
Well, it wasn't really like, oh, we had just paid for it. It wasn't like. It was more of like, so our manager, our manager, he actually owned the property, so he was like, hey, and our manager is also our drummer and bassist dad, so it kind of made things easier. When we moved out of the old space, we moved into the space down in Lorton, which is and from there, the pandemic hit, and basically from there until June something, I was completely AWOL. As it related to the band, we still wrote, and we still recorded, and we still practiced, except me. Now, we were recording Hella's Home at the time, and this is a great time to get back into that story I meant to talk about earlier. So for Hella's Home, since we were in the middle of the pandemic, I couldn't really go anywhere, and by extension, I couldn't go and record. So, me being the lead guitarist, it's kind of like, okay, well, it really can't be substituted unless we get another person to play the part, right?
Yeah.
Because like if it's like, I think for what's it called, for like Load and Reload, I think James and Kirk wrote two different parts because either James was on vacation and Kirk wasn't, so Kirk wrote the rhythm, and then James was like, nah.
Yeah.
But basically that kind of thing could happen. But you know, if first off, like we have pretty much like the now like an established convention is that Evan will do rhythm and I only really do my leads and overdubs, because Evan has the fucking, that man is a human metronome. That man has some tight as fuck rhythm. Like
good.
it is insane.
Respect.
Right. Like this man gives James Hetfield a run for his money in terms of his rhythm. Like it's that bad. It's that good. I mean, like it's that fucking tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So they ended up, once they recorded everything, right? They sent Gannon and Thomas with my Marshall, who Evan had already recorded rhythm with, my guitar, who Evan used to record rhythm with, and the audio interface, and a lot of mic cables, and a mic stand, and a mic. I hooked up my shit I hooked up my amp into my laundry room, because it was completely isolated from everything else, so I could record. And I ended up recording for about 8 hours straight, recorded one version that I didn't really like, recorded a second version which is closer to what's on the record, or on the single.
Yeah.
Except that during the it's got a lot more open space. There's not like there's a lot of like fills I do in between phrases, like if you hear the second half of the solo, I do like this sweep and then do this crazy trill, part. That part doesn't exist in the original version. That was done on the fly because Justin was like, I'm not really feeling the open space, so I went ahead and did that, and that's what we came out with.
Okay.
So we recorded that. I recorded that in the middle of the pandemic. I sent the audio files, the stems, off to Evan, and then lo and behold, just a couple months later, we had the single release.
Nice.
And then we started recording the record.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I think it was either July or August, and then we had our old vocalist Thomas. He left to go to the Navy, and then we brought on our friend Khan.
Khan, dude.
Yeah.
Y'all have such cool names in the band.
What's it called? Do you know Mazen at all?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Because what's it called? I feel like if a lot of people know Mazen, and my whole Mazen,
you're cutting out a bit.
Oh, is this better?
No. Could you back away just a little bit? Okay, you're good.
All right, cool.
So
so my whole thing was just kind of like, all right, if you know Mazen, you probably know Khan, but anyway, we brought on Khan. We were floored by his audition. We actually still have the tape of the audition, and we will listen to it back every once in a while because it's just that good. But yeah, that was that.
Interesting. So then, other stupid and overused question. Who are some of your biggest inspirations in terms of what you do?
I've been waiting for that question for the better part of probably 45 minutes.
Okay. Here we go.
I've been waiting for it because I have no answer.
No answer?
Okay, I'll say this. So for me personally, right?
Okay.
For me personally, my biggest inspiration for playing guitar was probably Slash from Guns N' Roses. And that is something I don't say with any shame.
Yeah.
I still love Slash. I'm not as big a fan of him as I once was. I still think he's a fantastic guitarist, but I've just kind of fallen out of love of him being like the big idol of mine.
Yeah.
He's still a very, very influential part of my playing. Like that is
absolutely.
I can't refute that.
Anyone
That's
who's
not
like
up for debate.
influenced like a part of your life is like probably just going to like not leave ever at any point, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, my mom showed up to pick me up from Osborne Park from high school in 9th grade. She came to pick me up. I think it was after an incident where the bus broke down and antifreeze started leaking into the cabin, I was sick.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a fun story. I'll tell you that later off the podcast if you want to hear it.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's super fucking long-winded and also just cringy.
Okay.
But what ended up happening is that I don't know what happened, but I went home early and my mom picked me up in the van, and she had just gone to Walmart and she had seen a record of Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses out for sale. So she goes ahead and she's like, "Hey, I used to like these. I used to like these when these guys back in like the late '80s and early '90s, right?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, cool." Right? I heard Welcome to Jungle. I was just floored by it, and then I heard the guitar solo for Welcome to Jungle, and that was just the moment I was like, I want to do that.
Is that the one? That's the one that you fight him against in Guitar Hero 3, right?
No.
No?
I think that's his own. Like, I think that's just him improving the solo there.
Because I know
But,
that's my first like introduction to him, or like a lot of like musicians, is just because I grew up with Guitar Hero 3, and that was like my only Guitar Hero, and I think it is just the most famous one, or the like most played one.
It's probably one of the more recognizable ones for sure.
Yeah, so like I don't know too much about Guitar Hero other than 3, but I do remember Slash specifically, because that's the one they also based the arcade version of Guitar Hero on, is on the, I think it's on like the 3 engine maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, and then you ever play Clone Hero, the PC?
I have not, though I want.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not gonna say I want to because I'll say I do.
Okay. But yeah, in senior year of high school, someone installed that on like all the computers in the engineering class. So
Oh my god.
I would only just play that for I would pick up the keyboard and hold it like a guitar, because that felt easier to me. And then I would just play, like, just vibe out doing that, because like I didn't feel like doing my work. And the teacher was chill, so as long as your work was done or getting done, you were fine.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I heard that guitar solo, and that was the moment everything clicked for me. I was like, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward a couple months, I turned 15. I got a couple $100 for my 15th birthday.
Okay.
And I went to Guitar Center, bought myself a guitar, which I still have, although I am honestly on the fucking verge of just throwing it in a fire because it's so just the guitar's gross.
Dude.
The guitar's gross.
You gotta clean it.
It's not like dirty or anything. Huh?
You gotta tune it up or whatever, don't you?
Dude, no. Like the guitar itself, no matter what I've done to it, I modify all of my guitars. Like I've got a guitar sitting on the wall. I've got Seymour Duncan invaders in the guitar, as opposed to like the stock pickups, and change out all the potentiometers and the nut and the tuners and everything.
That's a lot of words.
Right? That guitar, my first guitar, I cannot do anything to make it feel good to play.
That's so
feels like
unfortunate.
It feels so twingy.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
I know what you mean.
snaps
I know what you mean.
Whenever I try and whenever I strike a string, and they're the same gauge strings as all my other guitars, but for some reason that guitar just feels like there's so little resistance. It just feels so floppy.
Yeah.
I just can't play it.
I know. I think I know what you mean. I had a similar issue with my my first guitar, which is still my only electric guitar that I have, which I got for. I don't know brands that well. I think it's a Starcaster. It might be.
I remember the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it was just a $150 guitar I got at Second Charles, and I think it still works. It's sitting under my bed somewhere. I haven't touched it in a while.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
And I hate to say this now, but I'm pretty sure that the Starcaster series goes like regularly like $80.
$80
used. Like regularly.
I'm not pressed. It was forever ago, but I got my bass guitar for $80. I have no idea what brand it is, but I really like it. It looks really nice.
If you send it to me, I could probably like figure it out.
It is under my bed behind several boxes in a case. I don't feel like it.
Fair enough.
My bed also might be on the verge of breaking. One of the poles is like knocked off, and there's a screw that is, I don't know where it is, so I'll see where that goes probably in the middle of the night some night.
I'll figure out if I have to get a new bed if my bed is caved in around me tomorrow.
Yeah, I've slept on worse. No, it's a good bed. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, but Slash is a very big influence of mine. The whole reason why I'm even a guitarist.
Yeah.
Alternatively, from there, I focused a lot on playing blues when I first started playing guitar. Besides Guns N' Roses, I loved the blues.
That was something I always wanted to learn, but I could never figure out. That's very interesting.
See, blues is a very interesting thing in that a lot of it is it's very much improvisational.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want it to be.
Yeah, I think that was my issue in learning it, is that I never felt good about improv on a guitar, or let alone like any instrument. So I was just like, it scared me. I did not even touch it.
See, a lot of blues, it actually comes down to a lot of the same patterns. Like you know your general pentatonic scale.
Yeah, kinda.
Right. So from the first, the 1-4 and then the 1-3, if you do a 1-2-3 there instead, you're adding a blues note, and then you just add that all the way up, and that note by itself is a lot of, like, it is just so versatile that it just kind of adds a lot of flavor to everything, that you can almost always default to throwing in. You can just default to throwing in, I'm gonna just call them the blues notes, but because I don't know what they're actually called. I think it might be like a flatted fifth or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know terms.
Music
like
theory? I have no idea.
Dude, who fucking knows? People who know
like,
music theory
some music theory. I know some music theory, like the whole idea behind like how to make different harmonies.
You have to know,
like, when it comes to like
a little.
When it comes to like, oh, this scale, it comes from a major scale, but then you have a diminished seventh and a flat fourth, and like a minor second augmented sixth.
No matter
like,
how hard I tried, I could not figure out what the hell any of that meant when I was studying.
Dude, sometimes when I want to be a fucking jokester around the boys, it's like, what note is that? I was like, I don't know. It sounds like an E augmented 11th, 7th, sharp 6th/7th chord.
That's really
just
good.
like throw random fucking numbers with different musical jargon.
It sounds right. It sounds real to me, at least. That's funny. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But yeah.
Unless you have more on that topic, I would just go to say what?
Yeah, besides Slash, Kirk Hammett. Kirk Hammett is a very big influence of mine, and also Marty Friedman.
Where are
Kirk
they
Hammett's, Kirk Hammett from Metallica, formerly of Exodus, although some people, he was in Exodus before Metallica.
Okay.
Metallica basically stole him from Exodus and then replaced Dave Mustaine with him.
Okay.
Yeah. Kirk Hammett, a lot of the pentatonic crazy shred shit, I very much like a lot. And I also kind of been learning to add that into some of my runs, which is really fun. And then aside from that, Marty Friedman from Megadeth, also of Cacophony, and of his solo band Marty Friedman. He is just one of the most musical guitarists I have ever heard. Like I'd have trouble telling you a solo of his that I don't like, because a lot of the solos of his they're musically impressive, they're musically beautiful, they're melodic, and they're also crazy technical.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And then you tick all those 4 boxes, just like.
Yeah, dude. I'm not good at
close fourth,
names.
Kiko Loureiro from Megadeth.
Yeah, I'm just not good at remembering names or like knowing them in the first place. So like
Yeah, to be honest, I don't blame you.
I can have a rough idea of who's who, but like I could not tell you off the top of my head for almost anyone. I don't know most of the singers of any of my favorite bands unless like it is the title of their band is their name. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So just like I don't know. Odd topic shift. What have you been up to recently? Have you been into any like any games, any hobbies, any shows you've been watching? Like, what's been keeping you busy?
Actually, yeah. Lately, in terms of I'm not really big on TV or watching shows. Although like that has been made, that an exception has been made for The Witcher on Netflix. I'm still waiting for season 2.
I watched that. Yeah. I've not consumed like any Witcher content, but I watched that. That was pretty good. Yeah.
I watched so over the pandemic, I've actually really gotten into The Witcher. I remember a while ago I bought The Witcher 2 because it was on sale for like $2 or some shit.
Jeez.
And I was like, let me get it because I know The Witcher is a decent series. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But I never really played it. I played it like for 20 seconds, didn't really care much for it. And then just sat in my library, and then eventually my friend is playing The Witcher, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should play it. And then I played up to the first chapter, and I was like, oh, I really like this game.
Still 2?
Huh? Yeah,
Okay,
still
'cause
The
I know
Witcher 2.
most people are very into 3.
Yeah, dude, 3 is a fucking such a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good game. I love it.
Do you know The Witcher?
But,
like, have you seen all the like weird levels of crossovers that Geralt is in? Anytime recently?
Are you talking about the Soul Calibur
Well,
one?
one, he's in Soul Calibur. Two, my friend tells me this a lot when we play Monster Hunter. Geralt is just a canon character in Monster Hunter World, just from like a different dimension.
You're fucking kidding.
Yeah, and yeah, it's crazy. I didn't play too much of World because I didn't understand Monster Hunter at the time. Now I do because I'm playing Rise like crazy.
Right.
But yeah, Geralt's just like a character that is in the game, and they just for his quests they just turn Monster Hunter into The Witcher, and then you have to fight like one of the like spider dudes as a Monster Hunter boss. Like,
oh my god.
it's very very interesting. I'd like to check it out. And then Geralt's in like what is it called? Daemon X Machina. Geralt is in a mech game, like giant robot mech game. They just like, yeah, The Witcher, let's put him in.
You know, I don't know this for a fact. But isn't Deus Ex Machina made by CD Projekt Red?
It sounds Daemon X Machina, I think is the name. I don't remember.
Is it Daemon or is it Deus Ex?
Deus Ex is the term for story writing, I'm pretty sure. And then Daemon X Machina is, I think, the game. I think it being made by CD Projekt Red sounds correct to me.
Yeah, if it's made by CD Projekt Red, then there's your answer. Why?
Okay, yeah. Is he in Cyberpunk? Not yet.
Probably.
First they gotta fix
Not
it.
yet.
First they gotta get the game working, and then we'll see.
You know, he is in Cyberpunk 2077. You just gotta get past the game-breaking door.
Yeah, you just gotta get past the title screen.
You gotta get to the very one specific door in the middle of the city that totally exists, and then behind that door, if you can glitch your way through it, is Geralt of Rivia.
God, I wouldn't be
Behold.
surprised, honestly. But yeah. So you were talking about the Witcher show?
Yeah, I watched The Witcher. I really liked it. Again, I got into The Witcher, played up to the first chapter, was like, okay, this is clearly a story. They're talking about stuff that is in the past that I definitely don't recognize.
I think they're all. It all references.
Yeah, they're all sequential.
It all references the books. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it all references the books for the most part. Well, not for the most part. It takes some references from the books, but really just kind of makes it its own thing. Something actually really cool that I read about after I watched the first season of The Witcher was actually that in the books, Geralt at some point gets his entire leg crushed.
Oof.
And he walks with a limp, or he has like this. He's got like a disability because of it, because like he feels sharp pains from his leg if he moves it in a specific way or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought that was a really neat detail. And somebody actually made a Twitter post about like how it would be cool if that happened to him in the show. And they actually made a point to mention that it's never brought up in the games, but actually, I found literally the day after I was talking to a character in The Witcher 1, I think it was. His name started with a B. He was like the other Witcher that you're supposed to help. He like helps you throughout the main story. Okay. But what ended up happening was that he tells you something to the effect of you can't like he says like, oh, you know, when you fight, when you go ahead and do a dodge in this way, you leave your groin open or something like that. And he goes on to explain because previously you've had a leg injury or something like that. Like he brings up something about Geralt's legs. And I thought it was really neat that they brought it up from the books.
Interesting. Yeah, that is really neat.
Yeah, it was like right outside of a crypt in front of a fireplace, campfire.
I have yet to play any Witcher. I really want to pick up 3 at some point.
Dude, play the whole series. The whole series is a fucking. It is such a good game.
I know a little bit.
Game series.
I know a little bit of the soundtrack, not just because I listen to soundtracks a lot, but because I needed it for D&D playlists.
I was just about to say like Witcher music is perfect D&D music.
My D&D playlists are like all like Zelda OST, Witcher, Skyrim, a lot of Skyrim on there. I'm not even that into Skyrim, but like the Skyrim's like I'm pretty into Skyrim, but I could not tell you a single character's name.
Yeah, no, same. Actually, I shouldn't be saying that. I'm literally playing Skyrim right now.
I know Lydia. Everyone knows Lydia, but after that, I forget.
Who? Which one is Lydia?
She's the one that follows you. Like you're.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I killed her.
Yeah, that's also unsurprising. It stresses me out. I get too worried about the helpers.
Dude, you want to hear something really fucking upsetting that like I just recently realized I had done like really early. So you know how the Dragon Priest mask?
Kinda.
So when you kill a Dragon Priest, they have a mask, and you can take that mask to a shrine in Labyrinthian, and then it's a shrine where you put all the masks on like 8 or 10 different heads.
Okay.
And I'm assuming once you get them all, it unlocks something. I can't do that without cheating anymore because the first dragon mask I got was from Vokun, and I went to help a fucking Stormcloak soldier who was going to jail, and instead of just freeing him, I freed him and gave him the mask.
No, dude.
I was like, I don't need it. It's heavy armor. I don't wear heavy armor. And then I'm over here like fucking close to like 90 hours later in my playthrough. I'm like, fuck.
That's also what stresses me out about. I do the encumberment system. Stresses me out so much because I like holding on to stuff. I don't want to get rid of it.
Dude,
what if I need these 300 potatoes? I don't know.
Yeah, right. Dude, I have like at least 100 dragon bones and dragon scales. If I put everything that I have in one chest, I have one chest that used to be in front of High Hrothgar. Now it's in my house. That I bought in Falkreath. If I put everything that's in my inventory into my inventory, I have literally like 11,000 pounds worth of shit.
Oh, God.
Out of 470 I can hold.
Yeah, that's insane.
And like 4,000 of that is 4,000 of that alone is dragon bones and dragon scales.
Yeah, is encumberments. I like the idea of having lighter armor allowing you to move faster, but also it's like So
I never really liked heavy armor. I've always just been the kind of because a lot of the time I always just stealthy, pickpocket kind of motherfucker.
So yeah, I guess we're a little over an hour right now. I think I'm gonna probably close this out a little bit unless we have more to go on. But like I'd keep talking about video games forever. But
no, dude, video games are honestly like the one thing I feel like most people can just talk about, and it's just like it's like everything can just go on and everything is relevant.
Yeah. The real reason is I haven't eaten dinner yet. So
hey, before we go,
we
should play Smash. You got Smash 4? Not Smash 4. Smash Ultimate.
I do have Smash 4. Together. Yeah, I don't have my Wii U anymore because I was an idiot and sold it, but I need that back. Dude, I have Smash Ultimate, of course. I'm down to play with you anytime. Except right now because I need to go eat dinner.
Yeah, obviously. I'll send you my friend code later.
Yeah. So,
dude, we gotta play that.
Absolutely, dude. I'd love to play it. Like, the online is not great, but I'd love to play it more sometime.
I'm an obnoxious snake main.
I will have to figure out how to play against that because I play Ganondorf. But I'm trying.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to main Sephiroth, so we'll see.
Dude, my buddy mains Sephiroth and kicks my ass clear out of the water every time.
He's so good.
I don't have a single one of the DLC characters except Piranha Plant because I have not bought any of it and I don't intend
I love all of them. I think they're all great. Like here, I'm getting caught in this tangent again of just talking more. Dude, like last thought, like Hero is the character that I was probably the least excited for. Other in the first pass, and then because I didn't know anything about Dragon Quest, but he is my favorite like character in a fighting game ever in terms of gameplay, just because he's so fucking stupid.
He's just praise be RNGesus.
I love it. It's so good. I love that. That's also I saw a thing. I think in like French, whack and thwack are named like kill and super kill. Or something.
God damn.
Which is insane.
Of course. I love how it's the French.
Yeah, it's some language. I don't remember. But yeah, before we close out, you got anything you want to shout out? Your Twitter, your Instagram, your band.
Yeah, sure. If you guys want to follow, my account is td.lg _Michael
on which
on Instagram. I don't really use my Twitter, and I don't even know what the handle is for it, so I'm not gonna plug it.
Yeah, I just realized I have not seen you on Twitter ever. I don't think.
I have a Twitter. I rarely use. Like I'll retweet
You're a
something
lucky
I
man
see pop up
to
occasionally,
never
but that's
use
it.
it.
Yeah, I really don't like using Twitter. It just bothers me.
Yeah. So
for no
anything
reason.
else, I'll just.
It's an irrational thought.
Anything else, I can just throw everything in the description if you need.
Yeah.
And,
Aside from my stuff, make sure you go ahead and follow Trivial Difference on Instagram.
oh, you're cutting out a little bit. Could you
It is
reset
at
that?
Trivial Difference. On Twitter, we are. I'll send that to Adam because I don't know off the top of my head because it's not Trivial Difference.
Okay.
Because somebody already has that for some reason. Aside from that, check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon. If you can think of a music platform, we're probably on there.
Sick.
All you got to do is look up Trivial Difference. Hell is Home is our most recent release. We have our record coming out in the next couple months. Stay tuned for that. Aside from that, keep on being awesome.
All right, sick. Yeah, well, thanks everyone for listening. This has been the second episode of the Local Creatives Podcast. I'm still not totally sold on that name. I'll see where it goes. But yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, thank you. But just generally, yeah, thanks for listening. If you are a smaller artist interested in talking about your stuff, interested in, I'd love to meet you, learn more smaller artists in any industry really, like game design, music, art, illustration, all of it. Voice acting is something that I actually don't know anyone into, but I would love to get more into that because I love talking about voice acting. But yeah,
Hey, before we go, I got one last thing to say.
One last thing.
Support local artists.
True.
That is all.
Yeah, everyone go listen. Go if you know someone in a smaller band or know someone who's just drawing stuff, know someone who's doing anything and support them. Whether you don't worry about how much you like it, just support them. They need it. All your homies need it.
If you want to be really cool, just throw your best friend's song from their local band, throw it on repeat, and leave your phone in the corner.
True.
You'll make their day.
True.
You will make their day.
I think I have done that with a couple friends before. It's a nice feeling getting into that small community, just trying to help each other out. But yeah, everyone, thanks for listening. This is episode 2. Bye.
Bye.